G'day everyone, it's your Uncle Jojo. Great to see you all again. Today we're going to touch on three basics. Materials that we use, the reason we use them, and where they're being used. I've got today a set of highlight windows. Now these highlight windows are really hard to access from inside the house, and we have to climb up onto the roof of the building just to have a look at them from the outside. We can see here that the bottoms of the windows, these are all timber, and the bottoms of all of the windows are flaking. All the paint's flaking off and they're becoming exposed and aged quickly. These are facing north. This direction here is north. That's my east. Obviously that's my west behind me. Now you'll notice on these windows, down the bottom all along this edge, all of the paint's cracking, and yet up the top it's showing very little wear and tear whatsoever. And that's all the way along all of these windows, including the sill down there. Have a look at the sill. So you can see all of that paint there crackling off, flaking, and all that is, more than anything, is actually the heat of the sun. Right behind me, facing the north, we've got a double dip galvanized iron roof, and when the northern sun hits that, it's just reflecting straight off onto these windows. Due to facing the north, which bounces a lot of sunlight straight against these, as you can see, I'm squinting from it because it's hitting me, and we're just at the end of winter going on to spring. So in the summer, this would be pretty much the unbearable. These windows would have been best suited as aluminium. Even if the rest of the house was to be timber, they're hard to get to, and they're directly facing the north. If we had have used aluminium double glaze system here with a thermal break, then we would have been able to separate the inside and outside and held the cool air inside during the summer and the warm air inside during the winter, and blocking out the elements from outside. Almost all aluminium products now are what we call powder coated, and we would have used a powder coated system here. That would have ensured that they wouldn't have been subject to the heat from the sun. They wouldn't have blistered and bubbled and flaked off. Right here you can see that the timber itself is actually hard up against this centre newel, and if we pop over to the side, the motor is actually popped off and it's been opened, but this actually hasn't moved because, as you can see, the window is actually stuck on this corner. That's the perfect example of why we should have used aluminium here. If you would have watched my videos earlier about the difference in degrees and how that changes the size and shape of timber, then you'll understand here that just by the outside being a little bit warmer than the inside, i.e. during the summer or the winter when the heating and cooling is being used, then the timber's going to change in size. Just as we're going from winter to summer, the timber is going to be susceptible to the elements outside. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to open all of these windows up. We're going to have to shave them all to give us a bit of a purple all the way around. We'll have to reseal the inside so when they close properly with a proper seal all the way around them. And we'll have to repaint them all with a Weather Shield high quality paint. If we had have just used an aluminium window in the first place, it may have been a little bit extra, but what would have happened was they would have lasted without having the ongoing maintenance of them. That's my helpful handy hint today. Please, in the future, whenever you're designing a home, understand the products that you're using, understand the materials they are, and understand the position and the use of those materials and that product. That will help for the longevity of the building and the longevity and usability of the product. Any questions or queries about that, flick them over and I'll help you out. Until then, thanks for watching, and like always, stay awesome.